Hello and welcome to the Sound Lab podcast interviews, unedited. On today's show, interviews from Edenbridge, Illy, Miel de Botton and Stick to Your Guns, plus we throw back to 2021 to chat to Declan Mckenna. So without further ado, let's kick off with our first interview from Edenbridge. They've got a new album out this week and we had a chat with them all about it. So Edenbridge, how are you?
Thanks, fine. Him and looking forward for the things to come.
Great to be here.
Yes, absolutely. We'll touch on the record in a moment, but we've been playing a new single of yours called Where the Wild Things Are. Tell us a bit about the single, first of all.
Oh, the single is Where the Wild Things Are. It's a video track and it's up to the lyrics about Gaia and the power of Mother Earth. And it's also an archetype of a primal feminine energy embodied by our actress Eileen. She represented by passion and untamed power, and she's the dread of any routine. And I think this one is and if this is a big thing for our for everybody on Earth who can reconnect to this energy, because it's energy of liveness. And yeah, that's a very, very important song for me.
And musically, it's very Irish influenced. So with a lot of natural instruments, apart from the standard instruments, we have the hammer dulcimer in, we have the mandolin, also the bouzouki. So a lot of unusual instruments, I would say.
Nice. Yeah. What was the reason behind, as you mentioned, adding in those unusual instruments?
The reason, because I like them. I always liked them, and we used them from the beginning on, since our first album. And I always have been collecting a lot of them in the recent years. And I think when the instruments fit to the part, it's much better to use the natural and real ones instead of keyboard samples, because they are very rich in overtones, and therefore of course I don't want to squeeze them in just for the sake of them. But as I said, if they fit, it's great.
Yeah, absolutely. And as mentioned, that's coming off your 12th studio record, Set the Dark on Fire, which we can actually see behind you. What can we expect to see and hear on the record?
I think people can expect a lot of musical variety on this album. So we have very different songs on the album. I think it's our heaviest album so far, due to the fact I was writing a lot of the riffs on the low B string on the 7-string guitar, and therefore the much more heaviness is coming from itself. And also we used a much more distorted bass guitar, so the connection between the bass and the guitar, of course, making things a lot heavier. But not to forget that, of course, we have all our trademarks on the album, what Edenbridge is about. So you get emotional ballads, you get epic long tracks, you get our fastest song ever with Set the Dark on Fire, the title track, and some more progressive influenced songs like the Ghost Ship Diaries and Lighthouse. So, and of course the catchy singles we mentioned, Where the Wild Things Are, and also Cosmic Embrace. So I think people can await a good mixture.
Good. And the sound that you made with this record, is it the sound you wanted, or is it kind of just how it turned out as you were writing and recording it?
It's always a natural process. It's not that I'm making a master plan to say I need 2 fast songs, 2 ballads, 2 mid-tempo tracks. It's always I collect ideas, get into writing and arranging, and the outcome is always a mystery.
And I'm sure that you wrote more than what made it onto the record. What happens to those now? Do you consider them again down the line, or is it a case of starting afresh when the
I
time
never
comes?
write more. I never write more because when song ideas from scratch and from the scratch of arranging don't work, I don't follow them. So all the songs I'm starting, I also work out till the end. I rarely have any separate tracks. We just used an acoustic version of Bonded by the Light for the Japanese release because Japan always wants to have at least one bonus track. But it was a nice version of the original song.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, absolutely. I like to talk about the writing process as well. So for you guys, how do tracks normally start off?
Well, as I said, I'm collecting ideas, be it on the guitar, be it on the piano, be it a vocal line, and always write those ideas down. And I have my files with all these written ideas, and then I have a look. Okay, which ideas can stick together, and then I'm starting to arrange the songs in the studio, programming the drums and working out all the instrument stuff, writing the vocal lines. And yeah, when the song is ready, everybody gets their parts. And of course, Johannes, the drummer, is free to develop things. Also, when I'm delivering a vocal line to Sabine, of course, she interprets it on her own way. And when a couple of songs are finally written, we both start with the lyrics. And this is always a very exciting process because Sabine, of course, brings her part, her identity into the lyrical side of the songs. And yeah, this is pretty much the process. And all in all, this sometimes extends to about 1.5 years, the whole creative process of the album.
And when you've got the track that you've written and you take it to the rest of the band, how solid is that track, or how much can it change between what you've written to the finished article?
It's finished. it's it's pretty much finished because
it could be changed, but normally it's not necessary.
When it comes to Steve, the bass player, I also write the parts, of course, and of course he would be free to change things. But when he's working his parts out and comes to the studio, he's playing it like I was writing it. Because if you're not just working on parts and if you have a finished arrangement in your head, it's always difficult to leave things open. So I rather tend to work everything out to the point because things later on can always be changed. But if I have the idea, it's always better to present the finished idea to all the others. Then of course the imaginative process of the other guys is better then, of course, because they know, okay, this is the song, and it's not just a guitar riff or an unfinished line, of course. And all the orchestra parts you have to work out anyway because there's no other way.
Yeah, and the two of you are the two remaining original members of the band. The band's changed its lineup a fair few times, including Sven being on this record for the first time. What's it like working with new people throughout the career of Edenbridge?
Well, it's always interesting and sometimes also, of course, difficult because we've been around for over 25 years now, and personal plans of members have changed, of course. Sometimes it didn't work out musically, sometimes it didn't work out on a personal level, sometimes it was both. Johannes and Steve are in the band for 10 years now, which is a pretty long time. And Sven already is in the band for more than 3 years now. So we saw that this lineup now is hopefully a steady one for many years. And it already proved on 2 headliner tours. where we had extreme fun, and I think it's also musically by far the most powerful lineup.
Good. Yeah, good. And you've mentioned touring as well. You've got more touring coming up in 2026. Where can we see you? What's your plan?
Well, the plan is four countries to start with in Austria, Switzerland, Germany, and the Netherlands. Um, and we will focus on a bit of the recent years in Edenbridge, because we did a 25 years anniversary tour anyway last year, where we focused on the whole history of the band, playing at least one song out of all of the albums of each album. And yeah, we're looking extremely forward to the tour, and hopefully many other interesting places to play will follow in the year.
Yeah.
It's unfortunately the UK is not on the tour plan, which is really a pity. But the working visas for one show would be far too expensive or at least for two shows, would be far too expensive for the whole travel crew. So hopefully this will change sometime, because we're really missing playing in the UK, which was always a great market for us. So fans, please forgive us, but of course it has to go without a loss for the band.
Yeah, yeah. It's not the music industry's fault, which is a shame, and it's not your fault either. So yeah, that's the way things are at the moment, which is a bit annoying. But is there anywhere in the world that you want to get to and play at some point that maybe you haven't been to before?
Yeah, it's definitely Japan. It's definitely Japan, because for the first time we signed a direct deal with a Japanese major label, King Records, and the album will be released at the same time then in Europe on the 16th of January 2026. And I think this direct release in Japan will also increase the possibility for future shows there. So hopefully next year, if not next year, hopefully 2027.
But there is also a plan for a Chinese tour again. So we wait and see what's going on.
And I hope you enjoyed the interview there with Edenbridge to talk about their brand new record, which is out this week. Now, we are all over social media, so come and find us at The Soundlab, yes, on all the socials. And you can also check out the website, thesoundlabuk.co.uk. So while you go and check us out on all the socials and give us some follows, we've got our next interview from Illy. She's been busy releasing new music over the past year or so, and we had a chat with her all about it. So, Illy, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. Thanks so much for having me.
Good. Pleasure is all mine. So we've been playing a single of yours called Step Into the Dark, which is the track from Winx Club. Tell us a bit about the single and how this came about.
Yeah, this is such a surreal experience. The Winx was such a huge part of my childhood, so it is a crazy experience to be involved in the new reboot. This song is all about the main character, Bloom, transforming into a witch, which is one of the Trixies. So it was super fun to be a part of. The writing process of it all was incredible as well. It was just a really, really fun overall project to be involved in.
Good. And how did this project come about? Did they come to you? Did you go to them? Kind of tell us a bit about how it got to this point where you wrote the track for it.
So the Winx actually started in a very, very small town in Italy. And I actually have a producer friend over in Italy, and he sent me a message one day and he said, "Hey, do you want to get involved with the Winx and do you want to write a song for them?" And I was like, "Of course, let's do it." So we got a brief from the Winx and the Rainbow team, and they sent us kind of like a brief of like what was going on, Bloom's transformation, kind of going into the dark side. So that's when we came up with the Step Into the Dark, and that's how it came around.
Good, nice. And I hear there's more music of yours on the way. What can we expect from you music-wise?
Yeah, so I actually have a new single coming up very, very soon. It's called Mean to Me, and it's all about being in a toxic relationship, but giving your all to that person, and just giving nothing but love. I'm really excited for this to be out. It's part of a new EP that'll be releasing next year. So this is the very first single from that.
Nice, nice. And you've been writing and releasing music for a fair few years now. Do you feel like you've found your style and your sound now?
Yes, definitely. It's been a journey. I think, to be honest, as people, we grow every day and we change every single day. And I think we become different versions and better versions, hopefully, of ourselves every single year. So I think that's kind of the same when it translates to music. I think every single year it grows. It kind of it stays the same in a lot of ways, but it just gets better. So I think like being in the industry, getting older can be a spoken like a taboo subject. But actually, when you kind of look at it as you get more experience and you're kind of growing and the music is only getting better, I think that's, yeah, it goes hand in hand with just life as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, nice. And I'd like to talk about the writing side of things as well. So for you, how do tracks normally start off?
So for me, every single track that I kind of do, I start with chords. It's actually how the Wink song came around and how my new single came around. Every single song that I do basically starts with chords or a title, a song title, and like a concept. So I kind of have them too. I do melodies over the chords and then I put the concept onto it all and it kind of just forms together. Um, I started playing piano when I was really young. I was 11 years old, and as soon as I could play chords, that's when I started to write, and that's when I started to kind of sing melodies over these chords just naturally. So yeah.
Yeah, nice, nice. And you've been around for many years, although a lot of people probably don't recognize the name you perform under. They'll know you as Emily Middlemass. You performed a lot on TV with Britain's Got Talent and X Factor. How were those experiences for you at those times?
Yeah, the X Factor was a surreal experience. I was super, super young at the time, and didn't really know who I was as an artist, but I think the whole experience of it, matured me in a way that was beneficial to my career, and I kind of learned a lot about the industry and how it works and kind of having a little bit of limelight and how to deal with that. So I think it was definitely a positive experience. And I don't think I would be chatting with you right now if it wasn't for that experience. It's led me to so many opportunities today. So yeah, I'm grateful for that whole experience. It was very surreal.
Good. And a question I always like to ask is, are you still in touch with anyone from the series, whether it was artists or production team?
So I actually just got married to another contestant that was on it at the time, Ryan Laurie. So yeah, very much speak to to him every single day. But yeah, we kind of keep in touch with all of the other contestants online and we support each other and if someone has a release out, then we all support each other or just life in general. We'll comment on each other's photos, but I haven't seen them face to face in a long time.
Yeah, yeah, nice. And with new music on the way, I'm sure you'll be wanting to do some live shows. What's your plan for getting out there and doing some gigs?
So I have lots of plans next year in the works, but for now I have a headline show in London on the 29th of November, which I'm really excited about. I will be performing a lot of new songs. Yeah, just teasing the next EP for next year.
Yeah, do you think next year is going to be a busy year for shows?
Definitely. I think, yeah, I think it'll be a really exciting year. I'm planning on releasing a lot more music, so I'm really looking forward to the whole experience of that and playing live a lot more. I love playing live. It's one of my favorite things to do. It's kind of where I started. I started way back in the day playing live in a live band. So yeah, that's kind of where I call home, is on stage.
Yeah, good. Are you hoping to go overseas as well at some point?
Oh yeah, definitely. I've been traveling a lot recently for songwriting, like all over the world. It's actually really crazy when I sit down and think about little me, kind of hoping that I would be traveling the world with my music, and I've been writing here, there, and everywhere. But I think I would love to do a tour and actually perform in these places. There's like a completely different feeling with being in the studio, which I love, but being on stage, I'm just obsessed with. So I think, yeah, touring all around the world one day will be incredible. I would love to do that, to perform overseas.
And I hope you enjoyed the interview there with Illy to talk about her latest music releases and more. Now, if you're listening to us on Spotify, then you'll be pleased to hear we also have a Spotify playlist. It's called Fresh, and it brings you 150 brand new up-and-coming artists that we feel like you might just enjoy yourselves. If you want to check that out, search Fresh by The Sound Lab on Spotify, or head to the website thesoundlabuk.co.uk and click on the Fresh playlist button. So while you go and save the playlist to listen to later on, of course, we've got our next interview from Miel de Botton. She too has been busy releasing music over the past year or so. We had a chat with her all about it. So Miel de Botton, how are you?
Very well, thank you. How are you, Jim?
Good. Yeah, not too bad. Thanks so much. So we've been playing a single of yours off your latest EP. We've been playing Hit Song. Tell us a bit about the single, first of all.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for playing it, first of all. It's about my dreams as a little girl to become a singer, and obviously my dream to have a hit song and to be loved for it. That's in a nutshell what it is about.
Fair enough. And that's off a series of EPs of yours called Loved Ones. Tell us a bit about what your plans are for these releases and why you're doing it this way.
I really wanted, that I think they're very deep, personal, profound songs, and I wanted each one to be appreciated fully. So that's why we've divided it up. Also, I want a video for each song. So some of those are still to be filmed. So it's a work in progress. But yeah, mainly it's because I want everything to be appreciated fully. So it's divided into 3 EPs. Yeah.
Yeah. Will that come together as a full album at the end of it, or will it remain as those 3 EPs?
A good question. I mean, I think it might be nice to have it all put together in one album and to do a vinyl and everything, because we haven't done any physical so far. So I think that would be lovely, and combine it with an album launch, which you should come to, and if you would like, and hopefully we'll get also my loved ones singing on stage, whoever wants to. So it should be lovely. I hope.
Yeah, absolutely. And we like to talk about the writing side of things as well. So for you, how do tracks normally start off?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that, there's normally, I mean, they are usually channeled. What they say is channeled. They kind of drop into my mind. But sometimes I might be listening to another musician that I love. These days it's Taylor Swift. I was never a Swiftie, but nowadays, yes. So they might inspire me, or it might be a walk in nature or an emotion that I've just had. Yeah, so it varies. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. And how important are the lyrics to your music? Because some kind of want to just fit lyrics that work with the music, but how does the lyrics work for you?
No, it's definitely all about lyrics for me, as you may be able to tell. Like, Hit Song is full of quite unusual lyrics about troubadours cascading and warriors of the mind and soul, and these things that I was trained very early on by my parents listening to Leonard Cohen, and obviously he was a poet originally, and I do love poetry, Baudelaire, and I love Van Morrison, and people who do put an importance on words and lyrics. Yes.
Yeah, nice. You've been releasing music now for a fair few years. We've been supporting you for most of those, I do believe. How have you, as an artist, evolved over those years?
Well, I think I'm opening up more emotionally because, an album like this is really, it took a long time actually because it was so emotional. And every time I would practice the songs, I would cry through my vocal session. So, but I think this is a beautiful process of opening up, sharing with the world, and I'm hoping people will relate to that.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've got a busy month ahead where you'll be doing some shows with Simply Red. Tell us a bit about doing some shows with them.
Well, listen, I would love it to be shows, and I think that I'm getting the instinct I might do with some more with them next year. But they've finished their tour right after. There's one more show after the one I do with them because I am opening with them. Yes, it's wonderful. On the 19th of November in Paris at the Accor Arena. It's a huge thrill for me because I lived in Paris for 10 years, and this was my dream for this to happen. And the arena itself used to be called Bercy, and it was where all the big stars would go, like Johnny Hallyday, and I then went to see Kylie there with some friends this summer. So it's quite an iconic place in Paris, and Paris obviously is iconic by itself. So, and Simply Red is amazing, beyond amazing. So it's all a huge thrill for me, and I hope that will come across and we can share the joy with the audience.
Yeah, what was it like to get the call to say, do you want to come and support us on this show?
Oh my God. Well, it wasn't a call, actually. It was an email, which I think I'm going to frame. I mean, I have opened for them in Zurich at the Hallenstadion, and that was my hometown. So that was a huge thrill as well. But this one, we've been rehearsing since February, and that's why this concept of manifestation and synchronicity, I really believe in it. I've believed in it since Jung talks of synchronicity. But obviously you can believe and pray, and it's up to God and other forces. And so, yeah, since February, we've been dreaming, and I went to see the Accor Arena twice and sort of investing in the whole concept. And finally, August 22nd, it happened, I believe, and got the email from my manager. From their manager, sorry. Ian Grenfell saying you've got it, and I wasn't sure initially. We thought maybe it was if it was going to happen, it might be two supports, but this time it was one support. They said no, you're the only support. So my God, you can imagine I was jumping up and down with joy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And what does 2026 hold for you? I'm sure you've got more new music coming, but what about the show side of things as well?
Well, that's kind of up in the air at the moment. There are lots of ideas being bandied about by I have a new team as well on the continent, and they've got amazing ideas like Sphere in Abu Dhabi, Sphere in Las Vegas, Miel at the Louvre in Abu Dhabi. Then I've got some, smaller, more intimate ideas of this friend of mine who owns fantastic hotels, maybe singing some intimate cabaret type shows there. So yeah, but it will all be posted on the socials, and but it's all coming.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Is there anywhere you've not been to before that you want to go and play at some point?
I mean, Sphere Las Vegas, and the Louvre in Abu Dhabi, those are very exciting venues. I would love to play at those two, for example.
And I hope you enjoyed the interview there with Miel de Botton. Now, if you're loving all of today's interviews, then you can hear them once again in an edited form on our international radio show. It's called Future Hits, and it brings you all of today's interviews, loads of new music, and a live session too on our 2-hour radio show. If you want to check that out, head to the website, thesoundlabuk.co.uk, and click International Radio Shows. So while you go and find those shows to listen to later on, of course, we've got our final new interview, and it comes from Stick to Your Guns. Had a chat with them last year at 2000 Trees Festival to talk about music and more, and this is what they had to say. So, Stick to Your Guns. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Wonderful. We are day 24 of 76.
Going well?
At this point, it's like the brain has just broke, and reality has set in, and that's all you can really ask for. Yeah.
This is where it starts getting fun because then you just start getting real loose with it.
Yeah, get real,
Yeah.
You get
things are getting real loose. Things are getting real loose in the bus. Let me tell you.
Yeah, because I guess you know what you're doing now if you're this far in.
Yep, totally. Mentally, not so much, but physically, we know what we're doing.
Good. Yeah, it's good to know you know what you're doing as well.
Absolutely.
And how have the shows been? Have they been going all right?
The shows have been awesome. We did a couple weeks in mainland. Then we came over here for the week. We did some really cool club shows with False Reality. They're from London?
I believe so.
And Love Letter, a band that features members of Defeater and Verse. So it was really cool to come over here and do some club shows. And then now we're ending the UK portion with 2,000 Trees. Stoked to be here.
Yeah, enjoyed your day so far?
Yeah. And then we go back to the mainland for one more week, and then we fly to the US and start a tour there. So,
Nice and busy.
Yeah,
Nice and
very
busy. Do you, Katie, are you doing the same set for each of the kind of types of shows that you're doing, or do you cater the market?
We switched it when we got to the UK, and I think we're just going to leave that for the next 50 days.
Yeah.
So you can just, because we were talking about it earlier, like whenever you switch sets up a whole bunch, you kind of like never find your groove on stage. And now it's like, all right, we're 5 days into this set. Let's just stick with this for the next 50. By the end, we're really going to know how to play those songs.
What did you change then between mainland and coming over here? Was it just a couple of tracks? Was it an order thing? What was it that you switched up?
Both. Changed the order around and then added 2 songs that we weren't playing in mainland.
And cut a couple also, yeah. It's interesting, you know, like you'll see certain crowds, there are songs that they just don't want. And then there's certain crowds that we know that they want. So I think since we started in mainland, we gave them the mainland set. We came over to the UK and we said, you know what, these people definitely don't want a couple of these songs, but they want these, so yeah, swap them out.
Is that from shows that you've done before, or is that from the statistics that you see on like Spotify and all that?
It's all just from like feeling and vibe, you know, like, oh, I remember last time we were here, people really gravitated towards these types of songs, faster, aggressive, so let's, you know, do that, which is also like what we like to play anyway.
Statistic-wise, there should be thousands of people at these shows based off of the Spotify charts, but that's not happening.
Completely different, yeah. And obviously there's places that you're not getting to on this run of 74 shows, as you say. Is there anywhere that you're kind of wanting to get to at some point?
You know, we really lucked out. We're the last, I would say, year and a half. We've covered nearly the entire world. You know, like last year we were in Korea, Southeast Asia, Australia. So we're just stoked to be doing it. You know? So we're kind of like, just point us in the direction, we'll go there, we play the show, we have a good time, and then point us to the next spot. So there's nowhere that I'm like upset that we're not doing right now.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like since I've joined the band, it has been constant. We've got this lineup, we've got Mexico, we've got Australia, we've got Europe, and then we've got these spots in Europe that you don't typically go to, and then it's just like, I have seen a lot of places within my first 2 years of being in this band where it's like, all right, well, just keep throwing it on, throw on whatever, I'm good.
Yeah, most definitely. Now, where are you guys at with music at the moment?
Personally or as a band?
As a band, but you can go personally as well if you want.
I think we put out a new record in January called Keep Planting Flowers, and so right now we're just like, let's just enjoy playing these songs. We talked about maybe working on some new songs. We'll see.
There's a couple random riffs that get thrown around at soundcheck that I hear and go, that's cool.
Yeah.
And I know that they will get used at some point, but that's just where it is right now is, oh, that sounds cool.
Yeah, I think right now we're just kind of enjoying the fruits of the labor of writing the record, of being able to actually go and tour and play the songs. And it's been really nice to have songs that fans want to hear from the new record. So we do get to play a lot of new songs. So it kind of just feels like, the moment right now feels a little bit like, oh yeah, this is like a new band, you know, because you get to play. And we're still playing a lot of old shit as well, but when you're playing like 16, 17 songs, you have the room to start playing 6 or 7 new songs, which is cool.
Yeah. And considering the record came out earlier this year, how's it gone down with the fans?
Great.
Yeah, I think that at least from where I'm at on stage, it seems like the crowd really enjoys the new songs, which means a lot.
Yeah.
Like, it means the world to me. So
Yeah, it seems like this record is like becoming a fan favorite, which ask any band that's put out 8 albums for your 8th album to be a contender and a fan favorite.
Yeah.
That truly means a lot to us.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
It means you've still got it as well.
It's I guess it does, which thank God.
And how does this record sound in comparison to those previous ones?
I think it's interesting. So the record that I would say most of our fans connect with is an album that came out in 2012 called Diamond. And a couple years ago, we started doing like a 10-year anniversary shows and tours for that record. And unintentionally, I think us traveling around the world playing that record influenced us again. So I think that Keep Planting Flowers sounds like a continuation of that record, to where if I was to put the records in chronological order, I would put this new record right after that. That's the record that sounds like it should have come out, and I think that's also why a lot of fans have connected to it, because it has a bit of a nostalgic feeling for them, but it still feels like fresh and new, and there's a different twist on it a little bit. So yeah, I think that that somehow we ended up unintentionally being influenced and inspired by our old selves, which then made the new selves dig into an old part of us. So yeah, it's one of those like heady things. It's cool.
And I hope you enjoyed the interview there with Stick to Your Guns. And that is all of our current interviews played for you. But up next is an interview with Declan Mckenna from 2021, because we like to throw back in time and play you some interviews we've done in the past. So from 2021, Declan McKenna, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. How are you doing?
Not too bad, thanks. So you're here doing a nice little record store tour, mini tour.
Town hall.
Yeah, I mean, you've been on tour quite drastically over the last couple of months since kind of COVID.
Really drastically. Drastic is the word.
How's it been being back on stage again?
It's great. It's not, it's just like we've been waiting for it for a long time. So it's really lovely, and I don't know, just so it's exhausting. Like, it's tiring because it's just like it's like being an athlete, Or it is for me really, but I think it is for any performer. Like, you're the way you're moving, the way you're singing every night, like all of that stuff, like really, takes it out of you if you're not prepared. So it's definitely had to pace myself a little bit over the course of it, and there's obviously a lot of challenges involved right now. But me and the band and crew and everyone was just so happy to be out there, because we were really one of the first full tours sort of out again in the UK. Yeah. And so it's quite scary, because like obviously the start of it was just like, what is going to happen, and we were a bit on edge, but it was great. The shows were great, and it gave us a nice sense of confidence as we went along, but also just like, amazing to be out playing shows again and seeing people in the crowds. That's just been extra special. You can't take that for granted at this point. No.
And he pushed a couple of those dates that was rescheduled to next year, and there's still loads of dates to come next year as well.
I know, yeah. There's so much coming now, which is, it feels good. Like, obviously we were disappointed that, so much stuff for so many various reasons has had to get like rescheduled this year. It's just been a nightmare. No, it's not just for us, it's for every band touring right now is having similar situations. But it's exciting. I'm glad we've got stuff to look forward to, and it feels like next year, hopefully, I don't know when I'm going to have new music coming, but like hopefully sort of that'll be closer to, and it'll just be like really feel like we're out there again, and really feel like we're back to it in a properly. So I couldn't be more excited for that. I think May we start again.
Yeah. And speaking of new music, you've already released a new single since your second album, My House. What can you tell us about the single?
So, I pretty much just made it, like, it was one of the first things I made, like, during the first lockdown, where I kind of thought it was just going to be a couple of weeks. And I was honestly just, like, I had genuinely been so exhausted. I'd been screaming for a break, like, for a while, because we'd been putting together all the album stuff. And I was like, like everyone was at the start, it was like a couple of weeks, be fine. everything will be back to normal again. So I was kind of buzzing because I just wanted to just sit at home and do nothing. Obviously, over time, it became a lot more challenging than that. But my house kind of came out of being just like, look, I've got myself here, and just kind of, I don't know, finding a bit of joy, really, it was, and finding a bit of, looking for yourself in that sort of isolated condition. But it's not an isolation song, really. I don't like to view it that way. It's just sort of one that came out at that time, and one about sort of some emotions that I think are quite common in my life anyway. Just like being apart from the people you love and having to find joy yourself, and having to and trying to connect with people at the same time. And yeah, I it's obviously kind of a slightly wonky version of that as well, but I was just really the simplicity of it is the joy, and the fact that it kind of just came out of most of what you hear on the song is me in downstairs in the house I was living in sort of last year, and I like that, out of tune guitars and just sort of like straight up, a lot of vocals and random little synth sounds were just kind of there, and like done in the moment, and like that's kind of the feel of the song. It's feel good. I didn't want to do, I think releasing a song in this period of time, I didn't want to do something intense or like something that's trying to be overly analytical or anything, because I just could not handle it. Like I could not handle it whatsoever right now. Although there's lots of different stuff that I have done. Been kind of working on music constantly, whenever it's been sort of possible to. But Neil Comber helped produce that, and then Rostam actually sang some backing vocals on it, as well as my friend Jake Passmore, Ali Buckley, Jason Burzel. So got a few friends as well singing and stuff on that too, which is also kind of nice and in the theme of the song. It's like a imaginary house party. A mega chill imaginary house party.
Yeah, no, it sounds great. And so obviously with all that time being locked down in the house, not doing much, I'm sure you must have written a lot of music in that time. So
yeah, mostly like sound experiments. Like mostly like there are some songs that I've written. Actually, there's quite a few songs. I'm lying. There's quite a few songs that I've written in that period of time. But, I've just had a sort of extended period to really get into, like, producing stuff. And because I've always produced stuff and made demos, but, like, there's just, like, a couple of weird quirks and things that I'm trying to make into, a thing on record. And so, like, I've kind of been doing that, like, just, finding that sort of playful energy that I had when I was recording on, like, a PC using, like, my brother's little 8-track as an interface. When I was sort of 14, 15, like trying to find that energy, but just with a bit more sort of confidence and know-how in terms of the production side of things. So like, it's that's been kind of, that was kind of what was behind my house, but it's also been behind a lot of the stuff I've done, although albeit some of it more sort of intense or darker or whatever it is. But I've been getting in touch with that sort of side of things, and it's been really nice to just sort of find a bit of a contrast. So I'm coming now as we're sort of edging out of the sort of COVID world, I hope.
Fingers crossed.
I don't feel confident saying that, but like, but that I kind of have a new perspective and a new direction for the music, which I'm kind of trying to do some way or another. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And speaking of records, the reason you're on this record store, your full tour that you've just done, is because you released a second album last year. Last September. Got pushed back. Yeah, that was after being pushed back as well. 2 or 3 times, and it's great. Yeah, it's great to do these shows. It's so funny that they're just like the in-store shows are generally like the week you put out the album, and that's kind of the whole point of doing it. But like, just going to be nice to do some smaller gigs. We've got a kind of weird setup going on. I've got my loop pedal back, which I haven't used in a gig in years. Nice.
So it's a night, it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be super chilled and like.
You're doing this on your own today?
No, I've got two of my bands. So I've got Gabby, who plays drums, and Nathan, today he plays everything. So today he's doing keys, bass, bit of synth. We've kind of come up with an odd little combination of stuff to make it a little bit. I like to make if we're doing semi-acoustic, it has to be kind of complicated. Like it can't just be like acoustic guitar, cajon, whatever. It has to be just like to make it really difficult for ourselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
It's just way more fun and way more interesting, and there's actually a lot of variation between what we're doing at the minute, even though we only practiced yesterday. So I'm really excited for it.
Leave them to set it up.
Yeah.
Let them sort it out.
Yeah, exactly. But buzzing for it really. It's gonna be really nice to be in little rooms again as well. Like that's always. You're always kind of caught off guard by these shows, I think, because it's not like everyone's going, "Oh my God, you're playing at this venue," but it's like, Town Hall in Marlborough. It's going to be lit. Like everyone, the little room, you can kind of just connect with everyone. So I think doing something a bit weird where we're probably going to be bouncing off the people in the room a lot more and needing that little bit of energy might be a few surprises. And I think that's kind of the excitement of why live music coming back is so great.
Yeah, no, definitely. And this must bring your memories back to before you kind of got signed, because you weren't kind of signed in the normal way, were you? You kind of won a competition and...
Right, yeah. I kind of I kind of stumbled into it. Like I made Brazil. That was kind of the focal point of all of it was doing that with my friend Max, and kind of out of that we're just sending it out to all of these places. Glastonbury Emerging Talent Competition, and then kind of ended up winning that and then signing at Glastonbury. So it was bizarre, and then I kind of just like dropped out of school and just started doing shows, and completely stumbled into it really. But I don't know. Brazil's been like, it's like the Lord of the Rings. It's just like it kind of keeps resurfacing in strange ways. But like that was like its first moment was just kind of, I don't know. It just spread, and all of a sudden there was these people chasing us, and I was like 16. It was very, very. It's weird to think about how chilled I was about the situation like a few years ago, because it is so weird. But it was weird.
Yeah, no, definitely. And touching on festivals and Glastonbury, what's next year going to be holding for you? Is it going to be a touring festivals year, or are you hoping to release more music as well?
I really want to get more music done. Like we've got shows in May, we've got festivals coming. But really before we go out and do those shows, I'd love to have something ready to give to the world. I feel in the right sort of space to be doing that, and to just, kind of, not that I'm excited to get these shows out of the way, but like this is kind of the last bit until I'm going to go off and make my record really, or make whatever I'm going to make next. Like it's such early days, but that's really what I want to do, is make some music and get it out. Because I don't know, that's kind of, it's like anything when you're waiting, and especially when we're waiting so long for this album to come out. It's like you've got so many new ideas, and it's actually like been so long since a lot of these songs first came together. So excited for something new. I think that's always kind of the keep moving forward and keep pushing things.
And I hope you enjoyed the interview there with Declan Mckenna from 2021. And that's the end of the show for another week, I am afraid. But don't you worry, we will be back next week. But if you can't wait until then, social media at The Sound Lab, yes, on all the socials. And you can also check out the website, thesoundlabuk.co.uk. And we'll see you next week for another episode of Interviews Unedited. Goodbye.